Hey there, fellow Virgos. Let's see what kind of messaging we can get in. Now, remember, this is a community reading for all my fellow Virgos, whether it's sun, moon, rising, and all that good. So thank you either way for joining me. I really appreciate the company. Let's see what kind of messaging we can get into today, eh? I don't know about you, but there was quite a attempt at distracting me and my energy before this. Trying to slip me up with my vibe and my mind frame. So maybe you are able to relate to that. That you're trying to do your thing and there's someone or people who are just expecting you to still be their slaves. You know? They only like you when you're taking care of them. And yet they have no respect, no remorse, right? Well, let's alchemize that, shall we? Boosh. The seed, that's what I am talking about. Yes, it all begins with a seed, right, fam? Heck yeah. The beginning, the origin, the pearl. The beginnings come in many forms. They are not always a beautiful seed placed intentionally in nourishing soil. Origin stories, like any birth story, are complex, surprising, multi-layered, and usually reveal a central image or detail that represents the fully formed being. Simply stated, the end is present in the beginning, or the entire oak tree resides within the acorn. Whether you follow this imaginal theory or not, know that when this card appears, there is potent, generative energy all around. It stirs your very insides and usually results in an antsy, impatient feeling. Pay particular attention to what agitates you. What am I saying? Seriously, as it is a sure sign of growth to come. You are bumping up against a growth edge. It is from the grit that the pearl eventually comes to be, right? It's like we're able to catch ourselves now where we're having a bit of a human moment, right? And it's like, no. You can't bait me anymore. No. Right? So even if it's someone that you love, like a parent or, you know, a family member, a dear friend, like you've been recognizing the tricks that people try to use to get, like, I've recognized that a particular isn't okay unless I'm not okay, right? Maybe that's relatable to someone. I certainly hope not. My goodness. But it's all within you. Like, it doesn't change our trajectory, right? It doesn't change our healing just because we have a moment, right? Just because we slip for a moment. And I mean, the people that we care about, they're the ones who are most likely to get the reaction out of us, right? Sometimes I get a bit when I'm driving, and it's like, because I don't want to die. You know what I mean? Maybe sometimes people are like, geez, why are you so mad when you're driving? It's like, yo, this is actually a life or death situation. I don't know if you're grasping that fact. And I don't want to die. I don't want to put my hand. Okay, alrighty there. It's just falling on over. That's a bunch of cards. Let's explore. Wow, we just saw this one yesterday. Why not, fam, right? Why not? So, how's that for a happily ever after? Boosh. I love that card. I love this deck. Expert timing on this one. It's time for healing, not war. So even if you're getting triggered, even if someone just can't help, but try to pull at your, you know, it's like some people really don't like to see that growth. They really don't. And they would rather just bury us underneath their stresses, their needs, their wants. They'll guilt trip. They'll play games. And it's like, I'm not bringing that to you. So why are you bringing that to me? Virgos, we have a tendency to take a lot of crap from others, right? As if, and I think that when someone is complaining about a Virgo, my first question is, what did you do? You got called out, didn't you? And you didn't like that. You tried to control someone and they didn't fall for it. And you didn't like that. That's all that I see. I'm sure that there are outliers, you know what I mean? There are other things going on with particulars. We're all individuals, right? But like, what? We're the caregivers, you know what I mean? We're the ones who just want everyone to be okay. We're not only trying to take care of ourselves. Too many human beings, generally speaking, are putting themselves last and everybody else first. And we're raised to do that. We're raised to be like that. And this is such a time for transformation. And we're following through with that, right? You had this on lock from the get-go. So, it's a time for healing, not war. Whatever you said, whatever part you played in a moment, if someone's trying to guilt trip you, you know, trying to pull that stereotypical abusive narcissist bullshit, you don't need to give in to that game. If that's how they play, if that's how they exist, that's their own journey. That's their own minds. That's their own inability to heal. A lot of people will go their entire lives just carrying that, right? Unable to see the way out, kind of like that Eight of Swords, right? We're painting the sun back in our sky. We're coming back to life, providing that photosynthesis and all that good, right? There's been dark nights of the soul in our evolution, right? And it's time for the sun to come back in our lives. Depending, you know, some people, they don't need the sun on their flesh. I have someone, I know someone who, my ex-girlfriend actually, who her flesh is allergic to the sun, right? So whatever that means for you, finding that joy again, because you deserve sugar, not salt. So for me, with my channel and my readings, these are usually, like, I returned to tarot recently. If you're new here, if you're returning, thank you so much for your patience while I repeat myself. And you know, a little while later, I began feeling this urge to share the messages that I was receiving, because it's not just me on this earth, right? There are others who need to hear it. So I really, that's why I began with, we're going to alchemize this, you know, because it's not people or the gods who are testing us. It's us making decisions to change and making sure, you know, because people are going to people. So they're going to do their thing, but we can control ourselves, right? We can catch ourselves and be like, no, I'm not slipping back into the old ways. I'm not slipping back into your game. You deserve sugar, not salt. Someone is being cruel to you, and you don't deserve it. You've been trying to take care of them, trying to be there for them, trying to help them to see their own light. Look at all this fire and warmth there, right? We each have our own light. We each have our own path. And please, let's not walk anyone else's path but our own, right? All right, fam, it's YouTube. Let's lighten up that mood. It's clarification time. Oh, yeah. Did I actually? Oh, look at that. That tells me that no. Well, did I? I'm going to shuffle them again. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate the company. Always and forever. Oh, she's staying on the bottom for now, but we're going to cut that deck. Boosh. What is chapter 1, fam? For this story, it is go time. Fuck yeah. That's what I want to see, because that's what I was just... I've now begun, when I, feel the old ways, trying to creep back in and enable me, do their part in shrouding me in the BS of the past. It's like, no. And I just go into affirmation mode. I just begin the mantras up again, because a part of it has been retraining our subconscious. That's a running theme for my readings generally, whicheverly, this is the first time I'm actually focusing on my fellow Virgos. And, whew, fam, I am being tested on my choices today. Listen, the Chariot is go time. It's go time. There's intuition and a connection with the universe. Whatever you believe in, God, source, the universe, your ancestors, there's a connection going on. This person has so many like magical symbols, alchemic symbols and such, if I'm not mistaken. It's okay if I'm wrong, that's fine. I'll apologize, it's cool. There's the moon on these shoulder pad thingamabobs. There's a word. There's a word for those, but it's gone. It's not coming to me. And like they know what they're doing. They're not just rushing ahead and, everything has been planned out and they're handling things accordingly. Right? Whether you love your spreadsheets, right? And sometimes it can be a bit, like it can throw us off when we're dealing with the unknown, right? That's the scary stuff, right? The unknown. How do you defend yourself? What are you supposed to do if it's unknown? You have no idea. But you have yourself. You have your wisdom gained, your wits about you, and your intuition. And it's time to move on. Chapter 2. Boosh. Boom. Justice is served. Balance is restored. Yes, this could be legal situations. Either way, there's a lot of karmic being balanced. A lot of karma being fed out with the planets planeting and everything. Boy howdy. So if people were behaving poorly, then good luck. Good luck. And thanks for all the fish. Boosh, right? This is stuff that has affected us deeply. Our hearts, our ability to love, the way that we love, the way we allow ourselves to love, right? But I almost want to flip it. Because I feel like the progression, I feel like there's a progression going on with these cards right now. So, don't be worried by seeing these swords in that heart. This is just a representation. And it's really interesting to me that it's coming up underneath. Like the way these are, wow, alrighty then. What else? Right? Like... the swords, the beginning of the swords is so, like the 2 has a person with the swords going across their chest as if they're like, no, there are things I refuse to accept now. Like I've been hurt, I've been used and betrayed when all I did was provide love. And an attempt, at least an attempt at understanding. And I received betrayal and trauma. So if people can't match that energy, then they can be loved at arm's length. That's a theme lately, right? Excuse me. That throat chakra, my goodness. So this is the never forget. Don't pour salt in the wounds. Pull out the swords and let them heal. Your wisdom has been gained. You can spot the red flags from miles away. Trust that. A part of this process has been learning to trust ourselves, right? Better than ever. We're not kids anymore, right? We don't handle it like children who simply don't know any better. We know what we're doing. We know what we want. We know what we're capable of. And we're choosing love. We're choosing our own joy. Because, listen, if you're still trying to purge out the guilt tripping that is still residing within your subconscious, I don't know if you like affirmations, but I just started a new channel, Amy's Affirmations. Feel free to check it out because I've been spending a long time, like over a year, trying to reprogram my own subconscious to speak to me with my own voice and not somebody else's. I don't want to react in her voice. You know what I mean? I don't want to react like that. That's not me. That's somebody else. That's somebody else's trauma and upbringing being regurgitated at me. We are breaking generational trauma, generational curses, whichever one you prefer. It's not for us. It was never. That's why it hurt. That's why we haven't been, because it's like, no, this doesn't, I don't want it. Chapter 4. Boosh, the balance, fam. I think right now, the vibe is that's you. That's us. Taking everything that we've learned, everything that we know, our experiences, our wisdom, and we're defying gravity with it and providing our own balance. And it's been a process. So please remember, you deserve sugar, not salt. I'm so sorry if anyone's diabetic watching this. It's like, can you please choose a different thing? I'm so sorry. That is definitely an awkward, apologetic giggle. I swear. I'm so sorry. But there's a balance taking place now that has been long overdue. And we're not giving up on ourselves, are we, fam? Heck nah. Boosh. Look at that. Look at that. Falling underneath the chariot? Really? These oh my goodness. I just realized that 4 out of 5 cards are major arcana and very particular major arcana. What if the wisdom gained can be shared, right? Not unlike what I'm doing right now. If anything, like I may not be able to teach you anything that you don't already know, but I can certainly help remind you, right? I can certainly try to provide an example for the people that I have anything to do with of, hey, it can be rough. It can be really rough. And we can have our moments that we may not be proud of, but that doesn't define the rest of our lives. That doesn't define who we actually are. So whether you're an actual teacher in a school of any kind, or a YouTuber, what if the things that you think nobody wants to hear, that, you know, nobody cares about, what if there are people out in the world who could really use hearing someone saying these things? What if there are things that people have only thought and they've never been able to see or know of anyone on that same wavelength, right? And it's like, holy crap, how, you know, it's like with music, right? As a songwriter myself, there are times when I'm trying to put things into lyrics and feelings and stuff. It's very akin to doing tarot, like trying to put words to the vibe, right? And sometimes it's just not coming. And then you'll turn on a song from a complete stranger and boosh, there it is. And it's like, how? How you do, right? What if you're capable of providing that for others? And that's a part of this trajectory of where you're going. You just being you, right? Because you are respectful. You are kind and considerate. You just being you is providing balance. And if others are incapable at this point in their journey of that growth, a lot of times the way we react to people is our own things that we need to heal, our own traumas we need to deal with, whether it's through therapy, meditation, or all of the above, like whatever the options, right? Whatever the free resources. Oh no, I just lost that train of thoughts. No, come back to me. Like, there's an ebb and flow to life, and thank goodness for being able to acknowledge, okay, this is getting me to react in a type of way, but I don't want to, and back it off. Like, nope, you almost had me. You almost had me, but nah, not today, Satan. But like in a figurative way, right? Boosh. This, oh my goodness, for some, there's this joy, this freedom, this carefreeness and awe for life that we haven't felt since we were kids. And if you weren't able to feel that as a kid, it's like you're finally getting to feel that now. There are things stemming from our childhood that we've been healing, that a balance is occurring. And it's not just us. It's not just within us. It's the universe. Like I said earlier, planets are going to planet. They're planeting. They're planeting. These cups are full of flowers. They're full of nature. They're full of life. We are very giving human beings. And it's okay to revel in it. You know what I mean? It's okay to love unconditionally. And if others aren't able to match our energy, that's on them. That's their journey. They don't get to take it out on us. They don't get to be such influences on us anymore. If they ever were, to be fair, if they ever were. Maybe there are children in your life that have been able to help you see what that can be like. Help you learn that carefree way of living, that trust. Maybe it's that trust in the universe and the balance of nature that's enabling you right now, right? This card is such positive vibes right now. I just kind of want to hang out here for a moment. If you don't mind, I'll edit it. I'm gonna whatever. All right, next chapter. Boosh. Woo! Woo! There are going to be those who are constantly trying to come in and test you, fam. Why? Because that's how it works, right? When you're making such big changes, I don't like to think that God is testing us, the universe is testing us. I think if anyone's testing us, it's our damn selves. We make choices, and then we need to learn how to follow through. Wisdom gained, passions reclaimed. Look at all this red on them. It's like this armor, and this is just like, isn't this the fastest night? Tally-ho, fam, like we're in it. We're in it. There are no backseas. So just be careful. Make sure, you know, if you do have your own reaction, you know all too well that the tongue can be a blade, a double-edged sword. So don't forget the power in that. That's what's really essentially been going on, learning that power that we ourselves hold. We've been able to recognize how others affect us, but now it's like, oh, I really, really have an effect on others. But there's such, like, I'm feeling that wisdom of, okay, I got this. I got this. Let's fucking go. I'm done. I'm done. I'm out of here. And I am so thankful. Don't lose that sense of gratitude for the ability to move on and live your own life and not succumb to the things that they did and continue to. Some just really can't see it. If we're talking about boomers and stuff, it was such at that time, which really wasn't that long ago. They're all still alive and they're not even 100, okay? Like, where it was such a walk it off, you know? We don't need to go to the hospital. We're fine. Just walk it off. And it's like, no, like, you know, gotta take care of yourself. Whatever that is for you, whatever feels right for you and actually works. It's okay to love yourself. The more you love yourself, the more people like those that hurt you and just broke your heart into smithereens, they don't get to come near you anymore because you don't put up with it anymore. So just make sure your way of being like, nah, fam, isn't, you know, in and of itself a war that's beginning, right? Because they're still doing their thing. They're still doing their thing. You can't control how they behave. You can't control how they live, right? So make sure that you're not responding in kind. It's like, no, I don't want that. I certainly don't need that. Stop. I will no longer sustain you, parasite. Cycle complete. Here comes the sun. Do, 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 do. This has been so incredibly painful. And that's why sometimes you can match it with, you know what I mean? I don't know if it's the Virgo in me or what, but I have a tendency when someone, like, you know, when you've been trying to talk it through, you've been trying to handle it responsibly and communicate and do the work, but you're meeting a brick wall. They don't want to do it. They don't want to participate. Maybe sometimes they act as though they do and they're totally involved. And oh yes, and then they slip back and they hurt you even more while doing so. It's all cut so deep. But the swords of the mind, this is all wisdom gained. This is what enables you. This is what you're healing from. You're balancing. You're rising above. Here we still see such a dark night and the dawn, and there we can actually see the sun. And we have enlightenment. We've taken all of this pain and alchemized it into glory, perseverance, love. You are still capable of love. Maybe you locked your heart in deep and tight for a while. But now you're rising from the flames, kicking off the ashes, and it's a new day. Yes, it is. Let the wounds heal. Continue. Let them continue healing. You don't have to be utter perfection in order to move on, for your manifestations to come to fruition, to reach this point. This point's already here, fam. It's already here. You've already done so much incredible work, even with these claws, these talons trying to pull you down. Quite frankly, maybe, you know, all too often I tend to think of this as the evil queen's clutches, right? What if that's you? And instead of being capable of pain and cursing others, you know, you're just misunderstood. You know, I'm goth, and a lot of people tend to misunderstand that, right? Like, ooh, this is scary. How so? A lot of people tend to be like, with Stephen King and horror writers, like, what kind of fucked up person, right? I mean, why don't you go read another Patricia Cornwell mystery thriller book, Barb? She used to be a freaking medical examiner and gets quite detailed in those thriller novels. How come mystery thriller is so dang popular and yet you're insulting horror fans, right? It's all misunderstood. You're looking like Barbie, spewing hate, and I'm looking like Morticia Adams with love. Oh, but darling. Right? Chaos to the fly, fam. Your passions, your energy, your innocence and purity have been disrespected and trod on long enough. It's time for balance. It is time to move on. What's the epilogue? Boosh, what have I been saying this whole time? You're such a caring and giving person. And that's one of the reasons why we've become so protective, right? Because we know how deeply we feel things, how much people and the earth and life mean to us. And we love that balance. To give is to receive, but love should be unconditional. That's real love. That's true love. And we want to be open to receive. Boosh. What's on the bottom? What's the main general vibe going on? Oh my God. I referenced her. Right? The question with the Two of Swords is, are you closed off? Have you closed off, or is it a matter of no? Unless you're being real, unless you're capable of the depth and being able to handle your dark night of the soul and come out the other side rather than taking others down with you, get out of here. You know, like, unless you're capable of the evolution and matching this energy, you do not gain entry. Or have you just closed yourself off? Right? Because it's hurt too much. I think it's the former. I think you got this. And this is your journey and your confirmation that it's all going to be okay. You're heading in the right direction. You're on the right path. So whatever you're looking forward to, whatever you're trying to manifest, whatever you're trying to bring to fruition, it's fruitioning. It's a word now, okay? Screw your grammar, man. No, I'm kidding. No. No. Grammar's good. It has a place, all right? It has a place. Balance. Alrighty, fam. What are the extra final notes on this session? Thank you if you're still here. You know, able to relate and stuff. Hello, fam. So nice. Ooh, dang. All right. Bottom. Oh, Libra. Oh. Ooh. Let's put that there. Let's work through these because they apparently want to play. I have a lot in Libra. Rising, Venus. Dude, oh my goodness. So, in this astrology book, what is it called? The only astrology book you'll ever need. The part for the Venus in Libra, the first sentence is, you are in love with love. And it's like, can you please not tell people that? Oh my God. You don't need to give out all my information. Boosh, be open to receive, fam. Not this rabbit hole. No. Let's go ahead and put that right there. And let's just, no. Co-creating with the divine. Let's put that right there. Actually, yeah, let's put it right there, fam. Aries. Wow, fam, my mother is an Aries. I take care of her. I'm her caregiver, and clearly I should not be. I will pay for somebody else to do this, but what's held me off is I don't want anybody else to have to suffer this either. You know what I mean? I wish that she could just be her. But we're going to put that there. No offense intended. I feel that there are two types of Aries. The real Aries, who are the go-getters, even when they get angry, it just, and then it, you're usually pretty positive. You have that thirst for life and stuff. And then there's the negative Aries, where everything's wrong, everything's bad, don't you know, right? To a man who's afraid, everything rustles. That's an African proverb. I love it. I want to get it tattooed. Loving you isn't the right thing to do. Get the fuck out. Yes, of my face or my home or my life. Just go. Don't collect 200. Get out. But also, don't overanalyze. Please stop overanalyzing. We are so good at that. What's our phrase usually? I analyze, right? It came out of nowhere. Listen. There's a complete surprise in store for you. So you keep it up. You continue being true to yourself. There's no backseas. Thank you so much for joining me in this reading. We apparently had a lot to go over, a lot to say and confirm, fam. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time and energy. I so appreciate that you hung out for this entire reading. Always remember that I love you.